Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and I hope you all are absolutely fine. I'm Sandeep Bhatt and we are here for discussion on how to become a good cost auditor. In this video, we are going to discuss on process of cost auditing, and we will talk about overview of cost auditing process, structure of cost auditing process from CMA firm side as an auditor, cost auditing process from company side as an auditee. We will talk about standard and basic process of cost auditing followed by most of the organizations and industries, and we will also cover what we need to do and at what time. In simple words, we will discuss about actual process followed by organization and not the process mentioned in the standards or in the books. In subsequent videos, we will also talk about cost auditing and assurance standard suggested by CMA Institute on cost auditing process. So guys, let's transform us from an ordinary person to extraordinary person in cost accounting and auditing matters. The Institute of Cost Accountants of India has issued standards on cost auditing from SCA 101 to 119. The standards on cost auditing are considered necessary to guide the members in audit of cost statements so that it is performed in an efficient and effective manner to ensure achievement of audit objectives with available resources and securing coordination with the auditee on audit work as mandated under Section 148 of the Companies Act 2013. So let's talk about cost auditing process followed in most of the industries. Different publications and books has divided auditing in three phases, that is planning, performing and reporting phase. But we have divided the auditing or cost auditing process in four different phases, and those are initiation phase or pre-audit phase. Second is planning phase. Third is performing phase. And last one is reporting phase. Now let's discuss summary point of these stages. First one is initiation, or you can also say this pre-audit phase, which includes applicability check, appointment and intimation to central government about appointment of cost auditor. Second is planning phase, which includes understanding of the entity and its processes. Audit strategy, review of previous cost audit reports. Third is performing phase, which includes execution of audit procedures and audit findings. And last one is reporting, which includes conclusion and reporting. So now let's discuss these points in detail. First is initiation or pre-audit phase. In this phase, those activities are covered which is important and needs to be completed and should be complied before starting of the audit phase. In this stage, following activities are covered. So first is applicability of preparation of cost records and cost audit. To start cost auditing process, the company must check the applicability of preparation of cost records and required to get their cost audit. This point we have already discussed in our previous videos. So about how to check the applicability of cost records and cost audit. Next is submission of consent letter. Before appointment of cost auditor is made, company is required to obtain written consent of auditor to such appointment. Consent letter. In consent letter, cost auditor gives his consent to the appointment and also confirm about he is not disqualified for appointment as auditor under the Cost and Works Accountant of Act 1959. It satisfies the criteria provided in Section 141 of the Companies Act 2013. Section 141 talks about eligibility, qualifications and disqualifications of auditor. The pending proceedings. So third point which is considered in consent letter is the pending proceedings against the cost auditor or audit firm with respect to professional conduct is complete and accurate. So these are the following points, few points which is a part of consent letter. Next step is appointment of cost auditor. Once the organization got the certificate of consent, organization will initiate the process of appointment. So in the organization, where organization is required to constitute the audit committee, the committee shall recommend the name of an individual or a firm as auditor to the board for consideration. So in other cases, the board shall consider and recommend an individual or a firm as auditor to the members in the annual general meeting for appointment. After appointment of cost auditor, intimation to cost auditor. After appointment, every company shall inform concerned cost auditor regarding his appointment. Next step is submission of Form CRA2. Every company shall file notice of appointment of cost auditor with central government within 30 days of board meeting in which appointment is made, or within 180 days from date of commencement of financial year, whichever is earlier. And one more point is there in this stage, that if any casual vacancy is there, so any casual vacancy in the office of a cost auditor, whether due to resignation, death, or removal, shall be filed by the board of directors within 30 days of the occurrence of such vacancy or situation, and the company shall again inform the central government in Form CR2 within 30 days of such appointment of cost auditor. So this is an exceptional case if something happen like this. So we have to follow again same process. Next phase is planning phase. As per different publication and books, planning includes identifying audit risk while obtaining the understanding of the business, assessing the identified risk, and responding to the audit risk by designing the adequate audit procedures and applying them to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to bring down the audit risk to an acceptable level. Planning also includes consideration of materiality and application of analytical procedures. Planning an audit of cost statements, records, and other documents is considered necessary to ensure achievement of audit objectives with available resources and proper coordination with auditee and audit work. The objective of auditor is to plan the audit of cost statement to ensure it is performed in an efficient and effective manner. So following are the some components of planning in cost auditing process. First is develop an overall audit strategy. Next is initial meeting with client. Third is finalization of members of audit team. Next is review of previous cost audit reports. And last one is knowledge of business and its processes. In planning stage, understanding and knowledge of business and its process is an important component. So let's discuss on this process. Knowledge of business, its processes, and the business environment, which is a part of SCA 104. In performing an audit of cost statement, cost records, and other documents, the cost auditor should have the knowledge of its client business to enable him to understand the process and express his opinion on the cost statement. The cost auditor level of knowledge for a cost audit engagement should include general knowledge of the economy and the industry within which the entity operates, and more particular knowledge of how the entity operates. To get the complete knowledge of business, auditor needs to go through the standard operating procedures, which we call SOP, manufacturing process, key process flow of the organizations. The cost auditor should obtain understanding of the following components or points to understand the organization. First is the nature of entity. This includes business process, manufacturing process, major inputs, joint and byproducts, wastage, and major output. So in this case, auditor should understand the complete nature of entity. Second is relevant industry, regulatory, and other external factors, including the applicable cost and financial reporting framework. What are the components, or what are the cost and financial reporting framework used by or followed by organizations? Next is the entity's selection and application of cost accounting policies. What type of policies they are following? Because in costing, every organization, based on their nature, based on their process, they follow different accounting policies. So what are the policies which is used by or managed by or followed by this organization? So it should be part of cost auditor document. Next is objectives and strategies and the related business risk that may result in material misstatement of the cost statements. And last one is measurement and review of entities' operating performance and internal controls. So, cost auditor should be aware of complete understanding of the business. Without knowing the business, a cost auditor cannot perform an audit. Our next phase is performance stage. In this stage, we have considered four parts. First one is give advance notice. So cost auditor needs to give an advance notice to the organization for preparation and arrangements of documents for the purpose of cost audit. Second one is plant visit. To complete any work or assignment, the complete understanding of the process is must, and without knowing the process, cost auditor cannot perform a perfect auditing process. So visiting manufacturing plant and understanding of the practical process of plant is necessary in any audit process. Third one is gathering evidence. Cost audit team should apply professional judgment while gathering and evaluating evidence through a combination of testing the company's internal controls, tracing the amounts and disclosures included in the cost records to the company's supporting books, and records like electricity bill, annual report, tax return, etc. And fourth and last one is review of all the documents. Review all the documents received from the organization and ensure compliance with cost accounting standards. Following is the list of documents that organization needs to readily available for review and audit purpose. Balance sheet and profit and loss account with schedules and trial balance. Description and flow chart of the process of manufacture for production, utilities and service departments. Next will be cost accounting policy. So in every organization, there is a policy that what are the components they are using, what is the treatment they are doing for different items. Next is identification of cost centers, cost objectives, and cost drivers. They will give list of quantitative production, product-wise sale analysis, domestic and export, and details of inventories. Details of raw material consumed, including process material, chemical, details with receipt and issue both in quantity and value for individual products, accounting and allocation and absorption of overheads if it is not a part of cost accounting policy, standards of inputs, raw material product wise, standards of power, fuel and utilities, accounting for depreciation and amortization, which method they are following for depreciation, details of utilities, self-generated, procured, consumed by user department, whether it is self-generation or they are buying from grid. Packing material details, quantitative details of products, basis of calculation of installed capacity, accounting for byproducts, joint products, scraps, wastage, etc. Treatment of abnormal and non-recurring cost, including classification of other non-cost items. They will also give fixed asset register information and depreciation cost center wise. Analysis of research and development expenses, quality control expenses, and pollution control expenses. Basis of inventory valuation, financial and cost records, and if any difference is there between financial and cost records, then they will give the reasons. Related party transactions, they will give reconciliation of indirect tax statement, reason for significant variance in key figures. So all these documents or all these information will be provided by organization to cost auditor for verification or analysis purpose. Next and final phase is audit opinion and audit report. So this we call reporting stage. The final step in the audit process is to evaluate the audit evidence obtained, consider the impact of any misstatement identified, form an audit opinion, and prepare an appropriately worded cost audit report. In reporting phase, there are three main steps. First is preparation of draft cost audit report. Second is discussion with management on draft cost audit report and findings. And third and final step is finalization of cost audit report after discussion with management. Without discussion, don't finalize any cost audit report. The management or team of company is responsible for preparation of cost accounting records, and cost auditor is responsible for expressing an opinion indicating that reasonable assurance has been obtained that the cost accounting records are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or errors, and that they are fairly presented in accordance with the relevant accounting standards. There are clear framework from independent cost auditing standard setters which provide rules and guidelines for how a cost audit should be carried out and the level of assurance obtained. It is the cost auditor's responsibility to plan and conduct the cost audit in such a way that it meets the applicable cost auditing standards and sufficient appropriate evidence is obtained to support the cost audit opinion on cost records. It should not be like without taking evidence or documents from organizations, cost auditor is making an opinion or framing the final cost audit report. There should be proper documentation in this case. The audit opinion is clearly stated as a separate paragraph in the cost audit report. The cost auditor issues a clean opinion when it concludes that cost records are free from material misstatement. The cost auditor's report communicates the following information to the reader. One is responsibilities of the management. What are the responsibilities of the management? It should be mentioned in that cost audit report. Second is responsibilities of the cost auditor and a description of the audit. He will also mention the audit of cost statements was conducted in accordance with standards on cost auditing. The cost reporting framework used. What type of cost reporting framework he has used, he will mention in there. The cost auditor's opinion on the cost statements, whether it is good, whether it is bad, he will mention there. And what comments management has given on opinion of cost auditor. So all these components or your cost audit report should be based on these points. And you can also mention if any other points you want to mention in that cost audit report. But that should be discussed with management. After discussion on all the points, cost auditor will finalize the cost audit report and submit to the board of directors. After that, company will submit this signed cost audit report to the central government. Submission of cost audit report to the central government is the final step of cost auditing process. So we have discussed the process of cost auditing, and now let's talk about do and don'ts for cost auditor and team members of company who will manage cost audit assignment from company side. So following are the do and don'ts for cost auditor. Do's is do your homework. Cost auditor and team needs to study the policies and procedures pertaining to the department or function that they will be auditing. The better they understand the operation and structure of the organization, the more efficiently they can manage cost audit work. Second is be cooperative and professional. Third is audit schedule and calendar. Always prepare the requirement list with timeline and provide to the organization. Regular follow-up on pendency. On regular basis, share your list of pending information as a reminder to the organization. Next is don't hesitate to ask questions from organization. Ask questions wherever you have any doubts related to any point or any document. And don't be rude. An angry auditor is not a friendly auditor. A good auditor don't jump to the conclusions without any valid evidence. So don't say anything to any organizations without having a valid evidence with you. This is the requirement list template which you can use, where you can mention activities like you need trial balance and balance sheet and responsibilities when you have received. So this type of matrix you can use to send your reminders to the organizations. Now let's talk about do and don'ts for organization. In do, provide all the documents and information requested by auditors on time. Assist the auditors with their specific request. The longer it takes the auditor to complete their work, the longer they will stay on campus. Next is be proactive. Notify the auditor of any request that cannot be met and the reason. Answer only the questions asked by the auditor. Answer auditor's questions directly. Do not tell stories. A short, concise answers always work. Admit when you don't know the answer and find out if the auditor wants to retrieve it now or in the future. If the auditor questions fall beyond the intended scope, involve your supervisor or manager. Resolve audit issues as soon as they are brought to the department's attention. Listen carefully and understand each question before answering. Be sure your response are complete and accurate. In don'ts, don't spring any surprise on the auditor. Auditors don't like surprises, particularly if they have a potentially significant impact on the audit scope, potential findings, or the audit report. Don't provide any unsolicited information if you are unsure about the information and how it may relate to the audit, but the auditor has not specifically requested it. Consult with your manager or management first, and a decision will be made on how to proceed. Don't try to be sound smart. Provide more information what is required by the auditor. Answer their questions and make sure your answer match with your procedures and work instruction. Do not try to be an expert as that's your auditor's job. Be an expert on your organization processes and how they reflect on the quality management system. Do not offer subjective opinions or theories. Avoid words such as probably or should be. So these words you should aware. These were few do and don'ts for the cost accountants and team members of the organization. For cost auditor, it is very difficult or it is very important to follow these points. As if you have created your bad image in front of organization, then there are chances that they will not give you assignment again. We have discussed and learned about following points or topics in this video: cost auditing process, documents required for cost audit report, do and don'ts in cost auditing process. We hope now you can manage cost audit work easily and efficiently after watching this video. If you have any query or doubt, comment below in the comment box and join us on following social media channels for quick replies over your question. So CMS students and members, that's it in this video. Thank you and have a nice day. We will see you in next video.